What is up, guys? Delboy here. Hope you guys are doing well. Just a quick preview slash prediction, I guess, for Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr. I've been meaning to get this one out of the way for quite some time, but I've not really built up the motivation to do it until now. So here we go. We will start with the basic stats and facts of both fighters, and we will go from there. The champion, Anthony Joshua, he has a record of 22-0 with 21 knockouts, whereas Andy Ruiz Jr. has a record of 32-1, 21 of those 32 wins coming by way of knockout. Andy Ruiz Jr.'s only loss was a close loss to Joseph Parker in a vacant WBO heavyweight title fight. Anthony Joshua is listed as 6'6" with an 82-inch reach, whereas Andy Ruiz Jr. is listed as 6'2" with a 74-inch reach. So Joshua is 4 inches taller and has a reach advantage of 8 inches. And by the way, I think Andy Ruiz Jr. is actually shorter than the listed 6'2". But there we go, that's just my opinion. Now, I think the height and reach will come into play here. Joshua is obviously the much taller, longer guy, and I believe he has the attributes to keep Andy Ruiz behind his jab. Now, Joshua isn't the greatest outboxer in the world. I actually think he's better at mid-range, but he certainly has enough to outbox Andy Ruiz from range, providing he uses a nice authoritative jab on a regular basis and moves his feet. You know, he should be able to keep the distance quite easily, in fact. You know, everybody talks about Andy Ruiz Jr.'s hand speed, and rightly so, he does have quick hands and also decent power, but Andy Ruiz Jr., in my opinion, he doesn't have the quickest feet. So his biggest problem in this fight, as far as I'm concerned, will be negating the height and reach of Anthony Joshua and getting past that jab to do his own work. Ruiz Jr. is good on the inside, he can let his hands go, he can land good chopping overhand rights and short snappy punches in the pocket, but it's getting to the inside that really is the issue here. And I'm not sure whether Ruiz Jr. has the foot speed to do so. I'm not saying Joshua has the quickest feet in the world, because he doesn't, but I think his feet are quicker than Andy Ruiz Jr.'s. And jab for jab on the outside, you know, I don't think Ruiz can outbox Joshua. I really can't see him having much success doing that. As for mid-range, again, that's Joshua's wheelhouse. I think that's where Joshua really excels. And at mid-range, I would expect Joshua to piece Ruiz up, time him coming in with those nice short right hands. You know, like I said earlier, Ruiz Jr.'s biggest challenge in this fight is getting on the inside. Now, Ruiz Jr., he can slip a jab, he can parry a jab and get past it against certain opponents. He did that at times against Joseph Parker, but even in that fight, he struggled with the consistent jab of Parker. And against Joshua, you know, that's going to be a problem in my opinion. If Ruiz Jr. could somehow get on the inside, I could see Ruiz having some success, actually, to be honest with you, because like I said, Ruiz is good on the inside, and in the past, you know, Joshua, he's shown some vulnerabilities on the inside. I recall Carlos Takam having some good success up close. Dillian Whyte had some good success against Joshua up close, especially to the body. And again, that's another area where Ruiz Jr. needs to work. He needs to work Joshua's body. Joshua in the past has been accused of having bad stamina, and certainly in some fights, Joshua does go for breaks. I mean, we look at the Klitschko fight. In that fight, he looked gassed after a few rounds after he hurt Klitschko. And in the Dillian Whyte fight as well, you know, after Joshua got caught and hurt, it really looked like he was gassing badly, actually. But yeah, Ruiz Jr., he needs to try and capitalise on that. He needs to try and get on the inside, work that body, and make Joshua work at a pace where he's not comfortable. I think that is the key to success for Andy Ruiz Jr. I mean, how else can he win this fight? He can't outbox Joshua. I don't really think he can play the counter-puncher and get that one-punch knockout. I think he needs to grind Joshua down on the inside. And I just think that will be a very hard task for Andy Ruiz Jr. Ruiz Jr. is not a bad fighter, but stylistically I think this fight is very good for Anthony Joshua. You know, Joshua himself, like I said, he just needs to keep range with a consistent jab, a nice authoritative jab, use those feet and try to walk Andy Ruiz into those big right hands. Maybe that short left hook if he gets close, or that short right hand. Just time Ruiz coming in. Ruiz does get hit coming in. Yes, he does slip and slide a bit. Yes, he can parry jabs, like I said. But Ruiz Jr. is no defensive wizard. Joshua should be able to find the target. And when he does, how will that affect Ruiz Jr.? I mean, so far to date, Andy Ruiz Jr. has actually shown a really good chin. You know, he took some good shots off Joseph Parker and he didn't really go anywhere. And I can't recall Andy Ruiz Jr. ever being hurt in his pro career. So maybe Joshua's power won't faze Ruiz Jr. as much as people think. You know, that could be a possibility. Maybe Ruiz Jr. has a granite chin. Who knows, but I certainly expect it to get tested in this fight. And, you know, something tells me Ruiz Jr. won't be able to go the full 12 rounds in this fight. I think I'm expecting a mid-round stoppage by Anthony Joshua. I think for the most part, he will have it all his own way. If Ruiz does get to the inside, don't be surprised to see Joshua get caught a bit. I wouldn't even be surprised if Ruiz manages to give Joshua a bloody nose, to be quite honest. I mean, it's happened on numerous occasions in the past. I mean, we go back to the Povetkin fight, the Carlos Takam fight, you know, two guys who were smaller, and also Dominic Breazeale. So if Ruiz Jr. gets close and lands some shots, don't be surprised to see a bit of damage here and there from Anthony Joshua. But yeah, all in all, I think this fight stylistically favours Joshua in a big way, and he should win relatively comfortably, if I'm being honest. A mid-round stoppage, I would say. Am I really looking forward to this fight? No. I mean, I understand the circumstances, but at the same time, it's a fight I don't want to see. And will I pay for this on Sky Sports box office in the UK at 5 o'clock in the morning? Absolutely not. I mean, doesn't even have a good undercard, and maybe I will make a video about that in the next few days. But yeah, in regards to purchasing this pay-per-view, I'm sorry, it's a no from me. But there we go. And yeah, I think it's important in this fight that Joshua makes a statement. I think he needs a nice, destructive performance after Deontay Wilder's demolition job on Dominic Breazeale. You know, Deontay Wilder really impressed people against Breazeale with that knockout. I mean, we were seeing videos of that knockout all over the internet, and undoubtedly, you know, it created good impressions for Deontay Wilder. And I think Joshua needs something similar. He needs a really good performance where he gets a stoppage and looks like $1 million. But yeah, that's just my opinion. And, you know, to be honest, I've actually been a lot more positive in this video than I expected, because I'm not really looking forward to this fight. It took me a long time to get motivated to even make this video. So yeah, I think I've done okay. You know, I've remained positive, and we've just about got through it. But there we go. Hopefully, after this fight is done and dusted, hopefully Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua can put their differences aside. They can get into that negotiation room, and we can get this fight this year. Because I'm not liking the talk of 2020, 2021. I really want this fight ASAP. I mean, ultimately, I'm a boxing fan, as are you guys. I mean, the guys who follow this channel are pretty hardcore. We all are. And we just want to see the fights happen. You know, we're not bothered about A side, B side. We're not bothered about ticket sales. We're not bothered about viewing figures. We just want to see the fight happen. And like I said in my other video about this, whoever loses, we've still got to go to work. We've still got to, you know, live day-to-day life. When these two guys finally do meet, I'm not going to lose sleep if one of them gets knocked out. It is what it is. Let's try and encourage this fight to be made. And listen, I'm not buying this Ruiz Jr. fight, because ultimately it's a mismatch and the card is full of mismatches. I think, as guys know on here, in regards to heavyweights, I am buying very little in terms of pay-per-view until I get the fight I want. You know, there are a few exceptions, you know, Joshua versus Usyk, Fury versus Wilder 2, yeah, I'd pay for them. But other than that, there's very little out there I would pay for. Maybe Dillian White versus Deontay Wilder, I think I'd pay for that. But I'm not buying these type of fights, to be honest with you. I'm not buying them. I'm not buying Joshua versus Pulev or somebody like that. I'm not having it. But there we go. Share your thoughts below. How do you see this fight playing out? Do you think Ruiz Jr. can set the cat amongst the pigeons and pull off an upset? Or do you think this guy is going to get harpooned like a whale? Share your thoughts below. Peace.